Look at the air of excitement on everybody's face. Everybody's so excited. This is great. It's like we're waiting for a plane to take off. It's awesome.
As long as we don't start clapping in the
We are live.
Yay!
All right. Let's do it. We're live.
So what up, everybody? Is this week 122 of the Homos Talk Show on Verse TV, and I am your favorite boy, differently capable, and I am here with a couple of people. How about you doing, Christy?
Hey, it's Chrissy from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes. Hey, how about you? How are you, Mr. Graffiti Blue?
It's your main favorite poet from San Francisco, California, even if you don't know it yet.
Okay. How are you, Mr. Kamala Black?
Hi, I'm Kamala Black. I'm from Newport News, Virginia. I'm an artist. I'm super excited to be a part of this.
All right. Well, this is the group, people. So let's get the show on the road. Hit it up, Mr. Aaron. This is a live show, just in case.
And our first topic is called Is What It Is, and it's coming from Psychology Today. And this article explains that faces seen as more, quote, attractive, end quote, are seen as more trustworthy. And this reminded Aaron Mack of his general social psychology class at Howard, explaining that people who are more conventionally, quote, attractive, end quote, are also seen as more trustworthy in the courtroom, except in relationship disputes, then the more attractive partner is more often presumed guilty. Now, all of these assumptions are based in stereotypes. And should we work to change this, or is this just an is what it is scenario, survival of the fittest? And when do mental stereotypes become dangerous? And how can the danger be counteracted? And the order will be Differently Capable, Chrissy, Graffiti Blue, and Cabana Black.
Ooh, interesting. Because I've seen it from firsthand how beauty and when it comes to the physical attraction, it does play in many different roles. So you talking about court, can a pretty person get out of jail compared to an ugly person? Could be, possibly, maybe. I'm not so sure, because I know some pretty people that are making some times. I mean, long times. So I don't think it's in jail, but when it comes to other aspects of life, do the pretty get the advantage? Yes, I definitely do. And it is a society thing, something that the community and people are making it as a regular thing. Yes, it has been a regular thing for many years. Come on. Fashion, beauty salons do not exist for no reason. It's like it's what they're meant for. They're meant to control you mentally and make you think that you need to look specific way to be able to pass in this world. So yeah, I think that when it comes to these type of things, it's someone that is prettier than others do get a bigger pass than those that don't have the, the what they call the normal beauty. which in reality, what is our normal beauty? Because I consider myself normal and I'm not as beautiful as a chief cute. Or I'm not as normal as what people consider normal. Yeah, society thinks of normality as one specific way. And I don't fit under normality of what society standards is. So hey, it's okay, but I still am here. How about you, Chrissy? What do you think?
I agree with you, differently capable. And you're beautiful.
Right.
So
Thank you.
Like I don't know where he was going. He's what are
yeah,
you?
you're very
Okay,
beautiful.
light skinned, and
So I don't know.
are those green eyes? Are those green eyes?
Gray.
Okay, like there was a time where you were
But we're
the
not.
gold standard.
Well, no, not even because okay. So one thing that a lot of you, well, one of the reasons why my name is differently capable is because although beauty in your mind, in your eyes is my face, what you see right here on this box on camera. As soon as I open the picture wide, you will see four wheels to help me push my way all around the world. So
I
I
respect what you're saying. I respect all of that, but I don't mean to cut across the young lady. So from what I see, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
And whatever is outside of that box, just because you are here, that's my perception. Especially because you're willing to be part of this conversation. I'm sorry, miss. Go ahead, do what you do. I'm gonna hush my face.
It's all right. I will say this. I've read articles before about more attractive people being given lighter sentences or a slap on the wrist in the court system, in the justice system, just because they're more aesthetically pleasing to the eye, because they're more attractive on the outside, and then there's that old cliche, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, in my eye beholds a beautiful mindset. I think we've discussed it before. I said before that I'm attracted to intelligence. You can look good on the outside, but if you're stupid, I'm not attracted to no cute dummy. So you can be cute all day long. And as far as trustworthy, as far as that being a stereotype, as far as one being able to trust that person just because of the way they look, a lot of devious people, murderers and stuff, were very nice looking. What's the one murderer who killed all the women? You know what I'm talking about.
There was a couple of very attractive.
Yeah, I'm bad with attention.
Yeah.
But they were devious, untrustworthy people, but they were very attractive men nonetheless, or people nonetheless. And the same thing goes over to relationship. A lot of people, there is a stigma on the way that you look as in regard to your trustworthiness. A lot of people say because you're cute, you're up to stuff that people who are less physically attractive wouldn't be up to. But that's not, that's definitely a stereotype. It depends on the person. It's not something that should be. Nobody should be ever put into a box just because of the way they look. But beauty, the standard of beauty shouldn't be, in my opinion, something that is categorized according to physical attributes. So I'm not sure what could be done to change that, but maybe it's just a mindset thing individually.
How about you?
Did that answer all the questions, Aaron?
I'm pretty sure we did. You did.
Okay.
This question, as I read all of the questions, is actually very layered. So just join me and hold hands down this rabbit hole, please.
Sure.
Number one, I agree with everything everyone has said so far, but I would also add to what you said and just ask you to consider this. The literature on this is well documented. In the 60s, there was a test conducted, although I can't cite the test, where they asked a whole bunch of first graders, second graders, and third graders what they thought of a certain teacher. They put a teacher inside a classroom that was very attractive and gave a lesson to those students. And they gave the same lesson to a less attractive teacher, gave the same lessons, made the same points, gave the same facts and all of that. And then they polled the children. These guys are 5, 6, and 7 years old. They polled the children and said, who was the smarter teacher, who did this and who did this? And the children unanimously said the more attractive teacher was smarter, the information was better, they learned more, and so on and so forth. So what does this mean? This means that there is something in us, and it means we're programmed hella early. And I cite the brown-eyed, blue-eyed experiment by Jane Elliott, who I interviewed for my channel, shameless plug. And also, it means that there is something biological in us in regards to symmetry. Okay, there is something in us that triggers attractiveness, that triggers many things inside of us when we examine somebody's face. Humans and all mammals are extremely unique, because even if your leg hurts just a little bit and you think you're walking good, but you got the tiniest limp, somebody will come up to you and be like, hey man, it looks like you're limping. We are programmed to notice the slightest subtle little changes. It's a defense mechanism, it's who we are. So my answer is kind of half and half. My answer is, it is what it is, because you like, what you choose to believe, those circumstances that surround your belief system, how you was brought to be raised up and all of that stuff. Like one of us might not trust somebody because they're attractive because of circumstances that happened in the past, right? Other people may full-throatedly trust somebody attractive because of what happened, but there are a lot of layers going on here. But the literature is extremely clear. Those 5-year-olds was like, the cute guy is smarter. So wow. That's my answer. Now, hopefully that answered your question. I mean, we could stay on this question for like 2 hours because it's very deep, but we don't got that kind of time.
we gotta make this shorter. But thank you. How about you, Cabana Black?
Well, first of all, I'm excited. Number one, because I have to pull this off my wall because I'm right beside it. And the fact that you said that is my favorite phrase. It is what it is. So that's number one. And for me, the type of person I am is, you can have your own personal feelings, but you can also have facts. Being that I've been a preschool teacher before I became an artist for over 13 years and all those kind of things, the United States has already shown us that we praise surface things. So we have Jeremy Meeks, who is the light-skinned prisoner with his light skin and blue eyes. But then we have Makai Alante, which I just looked up, which is dark skinned and got the one blue eye and the dark eye, who became a model too. Fascination has always been something natural for human beings to do. So we get fascinated, like, Graffiti Blue said, from features, the things that we see, things that we find attractive. The problem lies in, we are in a world, the United States, that there is such propaganda on how things are to be. So earlier I was talking about something, magazines, for instance. If we go to the magazine stand, you're not going to see diversity. You're going to see one kind of people, one kind of culture, one kind of setting for the most part. If we were to go into the bookstore and see Asian, Black, Puerto Rican, Latin, Irish, white, Ethiopian, Nigerian, like if we are seeing all these things, then it becomes normal. So we're not in a place where normality is accepted. We're in a place where commercialism is key. We're selling product. And so when you go into a place with those kids, and especially I've been in classrooms and you can see, you know, the girls that are attracted to the ones that have long hair and the ones that are not attracted to the more shorter hair. And it's not just because it's a fascination, it's something that's already been taught from everything that they see in movies and TV and videos and products and all these kind of things. So I do believe that it's very heavily done in favoritism. Yeah, you can still go to jail, but people even in jail, if you cute, you gonna get the hookup. You know, facts are facts and fiction is fiction, you know what I'm saying? Nonfiction, you know, all that kind of stuff. We could go for days, but if for something like me, I call myself a chocolate geek. And yes, I feel sexy about who I am and I'm proud of who I am. But in real time, if I'm beside someone that carries the certain demographics that have been kind of put on repeat, like the movie School Days, the wannabes and the jigaboos, it's just something that happens. And so I feel like, unfortunately, we have to, those that know better should show better, not do better, show better. So you live by example, by giving people like what sexiness is to you. And it becomes more where we'll see the Willow Smiths with the bald heads, and the more the Lisa Bonets and the, you know, Viola Davises and Angela Bassett, you know, like you get more. The more we see it, the more it becomes, I think, popular. But we do live in a place where, you know, we fantasize over beauty. Like beauty is a major market. It's a lot of money. It's billions and billions of dollars. Oh, that answers this question.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. That was this topic. Aaron Black, here's the next one.
All right. And the next topic is coming from no, not that yet. It's coming from our friends at LGBTQ Niger. And the post reads, their post on Instagram reads, sex will never get boring with the same person when you actually love that person. And also, counter to that post, coming from the beautiful Don Key, also known as Lil Kiki, he said, good sex can stretch a bad relationship for a long time. Now, this, in reaction to this post, a Cuyahoga friend of Aaron Mack said the problem with this perspective is through the normal ebb and flow of a relationship's sexual intimacy, a lower excitement from sex can be mistaken for a decrease in love between or among partners. Question: we've been in love before. Is this true? Why and why not? And also, when might this post's perspective on sex being so important be dangerous? And the order for this will be Chrissy, Differently Capable, Cabana Black, and Graffiti Blue. Take it away.
Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to answer every question kind of backwards. It's dangerous when you love somebody and the sex is good and they're not good for you. It's dangerous. That's dangerous. If you love somebody, sex will never get boring. I totally agree with that, because if you love somebody, It's not always about the sexual connection. It's more so about the intimacy, the intimate connection. And intimacy makes sex that much stronger, that much greater, that much deeper. This is just my opinion. But if you are with somebody who's bad for you and they got that crazy, they got that crazy sex, that, you know, the crazy that just make you feel everything that something normal or typical might not make you feel, something safe might not make you feel. Yeah, you will stay in that just to have that feeling. I've been there, done that. But I've also been married, and I've also, you know, been in a long-term relationship outside of marriage that, you know, I love the person, and the sex was never boring because of that reason. What was the other part of the question, Aaron? There's another part.
All right.
Going backwards.
Sure.
When does it become?
And you did actually answer this, but when might this post's perspective on sex be dangerous? When might it be dangerous to believe that sex will never be boring if you're actually in love?
Oh, yeah. When it's good and they're hella toxic. They're hella toxic. You know, they don't respect boundaries, or they have no respect for you whatsoever. But, you know, that's the only priority for them is the sex. It's the sex. But nothing else is really a priority. You could, you know, maybe give it a shot living with that person or having a long-term type of relationship or whatever, but you find out maybe they might have an addiction, or maybe they're not really good with money, or maybe they may have other problems that that interfere with life and reality and responsibilities, you know, because sex is wonderful, but it's not the you know, the pinnacle of a relationship, you know. And it's one thing that is definitely going to go away at some point. And after that's gone, you got to have something left that's more meaningful than physical connection. That's my answer.
Okay. Very good answer. For us, well, so I've been in this type of relationships where my last relationship, amazing sex. I will not deny it's one of the best I ever had, but it was very toxic. It was to the point where jealousy was taking over the relationship. He didn't trust that I was going out and trying to get an education and trying to work and trying to become someone and do something positive for me and my community. So it became really bad, and we had to break it up. But even though we broke up, it was about a year and a half later where we were still messing around because it was that good. But it's bad. It's bad because you stay connected to that person. You feel like you do end up loving this person, but what you're loving is that physical connection. That sometimes it's bad, you know. And yes, sex could be an addiction, and it could definitely affect some people's life. And sometimes people are not even able to connect with other people because all they think is that aspect, which it's not good. It's not good. And as soon as you see yourself connecting back to that person because of that aspect, then that's when you know that it's dangerous. You're getting into very deep hot waters and you're about to drown yourself. So sometimes there's time to move away from that. But when the sex is good, the relationship is good, the man or woman or he, her, she, they, them, whatever, are treating you right and everything is going well, then don't question it and keep loving. Receipt, take the love and return it back because that's what they're giving you. That's how I see this.
Mm.
How about you? Come on, Black.
Um, okay, let me say this. This is interesting for me because I am definitely a thinker. I am very one that's very observant and I pay attention to stuff. So this is my perspective because I've made some conscious decisions. Number one, I have not given myself to anyone outside of a little surface level of touch, kiss, and feel. I have not given. And the reason I have not given is because, I realized very early, just being around my friends, I try to be around people that I can just have conversations with and be super, super honest with. And when people use sex as a weapon, it's very dangerous. I feel like people that understand the power of their sex become people of the very devious ways of nature that can hold someone hostage mentally. So I feel like for me, when I see someone say, if the love is good, then the sex and stuff like is good there. I don't necessarily agree because I look at some couples that I do like the Will Smiths and the Jada Pinkett's. I think that makes them so dope is communication. I think their sex is great probably because of communication. I think to me, communication is very important and it's probably to me the most sexual thing that can happen is because you're always giving and receiving. And so that's why when I look like somebody like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, I think they last because you can see that they're attracted to each other. You can see that they love each other, but you can see that they can trust each other with their truth, whether it be pretty or not, and move on. So
it moves out from that entanglement for sure.
right, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I have never been in a relationship, so I can only speak about what I can speak about. And she was like, "Why you have never been in a relationship?" Child, that is the golden goose in the middle of the field and the elephant too. I don't know. But I do know one thing is I do have a standard. And the standard is not about, necessarily the way people look, but I am a person that believes in love and relationships. And like I told my friend earlier, I'm a cornball. I'm a hopeless romantic. I am a person that wants the experience of communication. So therefore, I live in my truth and I live comfortably. So I think the danger for anyone that's sexually active with someone is not a weakness of them knowing you, but when they know you intimately, you inside them, they inside you, not to be so graphic, that's an exchange to me. That's a conversation within a conversation. And if they are touching you in a way that every time y'all have that conversation, that you lose focus and they're like the oasis in the island, then they can become very dangerous with everything that you are. And you can compromise yourself. Because I've seen girls, I've seen guys compromise themselves over good sex. And it's wild to me. I'll be looking at them like, is it really that good? Like, what's happening? So it makes me a little afraid because I was like, is it that good? I don't know. I want to be married. I don't know. But these are the things that run in my head when I watch from this perspective, because I can't really speak on something that I have never experienced per se, but I can say just from watching friends that are in love, that communicate on that level, it seems like nothing can break their bond and their sex is not sex, is love. I think sex in itself, you should date your partner, you should be kinky, you should be franky. And I think that's another thing that's a problem. Like you need to get your full nasty out. Like if you're gonna do it. Like, and I think that's another thing that when sex gets boring, I think it gets boring because whomever you're with, you have to have the conversation of, well, what do you like? What do you want to get into? What do you need? How can I serve you? And I know that some people don't even talk like that, but that's the problem. I feel like you're supposed to have communication, and I think communication is very sexual and so is love, and so is anything else. So for me, it's definitely dangerous if you're not communicating the needs that you want with your partner, and that the person is getting their needs met, but you feel like you're just, there. So I hope leave that answer as much as I could, because I ain't a professional on the subject, but I'm sure Graffiti Blue is going to.
Oh yes, he definitely will. What do you think, Pretty Blue?
I appreciate the votes of confidence. I've been taking some notes, and I really just want to. I want to get in contact with the spirit, because sexuality is a very spiritual thing. So I agreed with most of what of the panel said, and I disagree. And I will give you with some things. And it's just perspective. I'm actually not even disagreeing with you. I'm just asking you to take a look through a different lens. How about that? Okay. You had made mention about communication is the key. Well, consider this. Some of the people that we love, that we are trying to communicate with us, are not necessarily at the same age we are spiritually. So spiritually, physically, he and the partner, whatever partner they may be of the same age. Let's say they're both 32 years old, right? The partners, they love each other, right? But this 32-year-old spiritually is 55, and the partner spiritually is 12. So you communicating is for naught, because you're trying to communicate to somebody who cannot even begin to comprehend what it is you're trying to relay. What I also want us to take a different look at what love is. The true manifestation of love is that I love you so much. I love you, and I want you to have whatever it is you desire. And we get inside of our egos, and we get inside these relationships, and they're so good, and we introduce fear into the relationship because it's so effing good, we don't want to lose it. Love, if you pointed a linear line, love is over here. Love is basically, spiritually, the presence of God. Fear is the absence of God on that same linear line, right? That's all it is. And basically all decisions are based in either love or fear. Now, this makes me, with this in mind, it made me slightly disagree that if you truly love somebody, the sex could never be boring. I disagree with that, because you could love somebody wholeheartedly, but if they don't love themselves and spiritually they're 12 years old and you're 55, now we got a huge problem. Now, sex. Now, I don't even look at I don't even believe from a spiritual place. I'm looking through a spiritual lens, right? I don't even believe there is a such thing as a bad relationship. You want to know why? Because the best way to find out what it is you like is by exploring everything you don't.
Exactly.
Every relationship, if you're a survivor, if you are here, if you're on this panel, if you're watching this, if you love yourself right now, life is hard. Life is damn hard. We try to make believe that it's not, but it really is. It is a miracle that all of us are here. All of us have been close to death at some point. I just met you guys today. How do I know that? Because life is freaking hard. You have to do that. And it's through it is through the fire which you're reborn. It's when you go through those bad relationships, which was a good relationship because you so don't want that to happen again. When you find somebody who is your match of the same spiritual age, and they communicate the same way you do, and they love not only you, but they love themselves, you appreciate this one so much. But would you have appreciated them if this one didn't act a damn fool? No way. If you got what you prayed for without going through fire, you would squander it. If you was like, oh, I want this, and this, God, give it to me. And God was like, okay, you have no point of reference. You don't have no point of reference. It's almost, and I'm not saying this is what God is doing because only God knows what God is doing, but it's almost as if as soon as we desire something, God is like, you really want that? Do you really want that? Well, let me give you the opposite of that first. This way, when I give you what you really want, there's no way you're going to freaking let it go.
Yeah, people squander it anyway.
Right, and
people
right.
squander it anyway. It can be in their face, like everybody is like, hey, here's the arrow here. This is it here. And then squander it anyway.
What you are pointing out, Christina, is the level of love of the Most High. I love you so much, I will let you bump your head on the same brick wall if that's what you choose. You choose slavery, you can have whatever you want, even if it's bondage, even if it's pain. I'm gonna be right by your side the whole freaking time. When you're ready to do something else, we on to something else. Just like that. The rabbit hole goes deep on this one. Now, not all, just because I said what I said, it doesn't mean that I believe that all sexuality is a good thing. A lot of things that some people may consider kinky, this, that, and that, it's all good. It's the foundation from which it is born. Now, if my intention is just to love you and we have an agreement, some people just want to be subjugated. Some people's like, I just want to be your slave. That's what I like. It is what it is. Tie me up, choke me up, just don't hurt me. And then on the other side of that, if I'm a dominant and that's what we agree, then it's all beautiful. And we have an understanding. Spiritually, they're 55, I'm 55. We talked about it, we communicated about it. This is what you like, I like that. Let's work. Now it becomes demonic when we manipulate people and we make people believe it's something that it's not. When we deceive. And they're just like, oh man, I'm gonna, as soon as my wife leaves, I'm gonna marry you. Shit like that, or stuff like that. When it's manipulative, knowing this particular cat is not going a damn place, and his wife ain't going no place, and she's not Mrs. Right, she just Mrs. Right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, woo!
It's definitely a weapon. It's definitely a weapon. You know, I really do feel, not to jump in there, but it's definitely a weapon of destruction for both people. And that's why I really feel like, you know, I love everything and how you said it. You said it in a better way as far as love is God. But that's the thing. If you're in it for sex, it's sex and love are two different things. And so love to me is not sex. You know, love is the art of being intimate with someone to endless possibilities. And then sex is what I prefer in the moment. And I think that's why I haven't made the choice to be with someone, because I realize, like, when I do give up myself, I want it on repeat. I'm not a one night stand. I'm not.
Kudos.
That's not my makeup. I want it again, and I want it to be very fulfilling. So I think, you know, the processes that we go through.
That's right.
That's what's up.
Right.
So yeah, go back to the question, but that was a good one.
All right, yes. Well, Aaron Mag, what's the next one?
Come on, Christina.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Hold on to your virtue, baby. Just hold on, okay? Shoot. It's 2021. I have yet, and you're in your 20s. I give you many kudos. I almost made it to 20 before I let it go. You know, I'll be 40 next year, so
And
you know.
look amazing, giving us the business.
Oh, thank you. I laugh a lot, a whole lot. It's my secret. And then another activity.
Okay, got you.
I let go a lot.
Okay.
You're gonna beat our butts. I'm sorry.
Aaron, what's up?
Right.
Monogamously, I'm not.
And this topic is called The Homos, That's Okay. And it's coming from our friend Cabana Black's album, Death to Mindless Music. All right. Now, Aaron Mack has had an admittedly long road to self-love, okay? And Aaron's question is, what steps would you recommend to help someone out who may not yet love the reflection they see in the mirror? And what if they don't like their reflection due to a physical change, hair loss, or a medical diagnosis taking its toll on their body? And the order for this topic will go back to Differently Capable, Chrissy, Graffiti Blue, Cabana Black. And I'm turning off the live now.